Kevin Durant has been absolutely sensational in the 2019 NBA playoffs, playing the best basketball of his career in hopes for a three-peat. The two-time reigning Finals MVP has proven he's now the best basketball player in the world. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. KD's greatness is getting talked about more than ever now. At 30 years old, he's still got a couple superstar years left. At a near 7 feet tall, there's never been quite a player like him, who has all the skills, handles, speed combined with his size. Despite leaving OKC 3 seasons ago and joining Golden State, the 10-time All-Star is arguably still the most hated player in the league today, and his greatness sometimes gets overlooked and diminished by the haters. If he keeps up his amazing scoring run and leads Golden State to another title as the best player on the team, Durant will continue to get more respect and is already up there with some of the all-time greats. So where is Kevin Durant ranked all-time right now? Coming into the league in 07-08 as the second overall pick, KD was by far the best rookie, averaged over 20 points his first season, became the youngest scoring champ at 21 years old in only his third season, averaged over 30 points a game, was already a superstar, a top 5 player in 2010. Only LeBron James in the NBA right now was considered a top 5 player at 21 years old. Just like James, KD finished second in MVP voting in his third season, made All-NBA first team 5 consecutive years from 2010 to 2014, won 3 consecutive scoring titles, even led his team to the finals in the tough-loaded Western Conference in 2012. Yes, I know he had Russell Westbrook and James Harden, but Harden came off the bench, wasn't an all-star yet, and at the end of games, it was Durant who nailed the clutch shots, delivered the dagger in both games 2 and 4 against the Lakers in the semis in 2012, knocked off the Spurs in 6 in the conference finals, averaged 29.5 points a game. Both Harden and Westbrook averaged under 20 that series. Despite losing to LeBron's Heat, Durant did average over 30.5 points on 55% shooting compared to James's 28.6 points. LeBron had the better overall numbers but had more help in the finals, had one of the most underrated MVP seasons in 2014, doesn't get talked about enough for carrying that Thunder team on his shoulder with Russell Westbrook missing 36 games. Durant went on to average 32 points, nearly 7.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, even led his team to 59 wins. But him and Russ were never meant to be. Lost to San Antonio in 6 in 2014, fell short in Game 6 of overtime. Both ended up playing iso ball at the end. Was bothered by injuries in 2015, suffered a Jones fracture in his right foot, re-injured his ankle, sprained his left toe, ended up playing only 27 games, and Westbrook couldn't lead the team to the playoffs. KD was less talked about in 2016. Since Steph Curry was shocking the world, Kawhi Leonard was emerging as the best two-way player in the game. Despite putting up over 28 points, 8 rebounds, KD fell to All-NBA second team. Since OKC only won 55 games, Leonard's Spurs won 67, and of course, LeBron was guaranteed on first team. After blowing a 3-1 lead to Golden State, thanks to Klay Thompson's 11 threes in Game 6, Durant did average 30 points, 8 rebounds that series, but couldn't stand playing with Westbrook anymore. Breezing through the regular season with Golden State, KD averaged only 34 minutes his first 3 seasons with the Warriors, had his most efficient year shooting the ball, only averaged 25.8 points. Steph Curry averaged more and played better in the regular season, but in the playoffs, it was Durant who shined brightest in the big stage, proved he was the best player in the finals in 2017, outplayed LeBron in games 1 and 2, James was the better player in game 3 for 3.5 quarters, before Durant took over, came up clutch, nailed the dagger 3 to take a commanding 3-0 series lead, averaged a staggering 35.2 points compared to Curry's 26.8 points, easily won Finals MVP. After that series, some say KD was the best player in the world, but LeBron continued to have better overall numbers in the regular season, carried the Cavs on his shoulder in 2018, put up insane numbers. Durant also proved he was the best player in the conference finals against Houston in 2018, nailed the dagger in the coffin in Game 3 again in the finals, same spot, same result, dropped 43 in a night where the Splash Brothers went 7-27. Durant single-handedly carried Golden State to victory, won back-to-back Finals MVPs. After underperforming the first 2 games against the Clippers, when asked why he was struggling, KD confidently responded, "I'm Kevin Durant, you know who I am." Responded with an easy 38 in Game 3 without even playing in the fourth quarter, dropped 33 in Game 4, 45 in Game 5, had one of the best performances in playoff history, dropping 38 of his 50 points in the the first half in Game 6 to eliminate the Clippers, picked up where he left off against Houston, had 35 points in Game 1, 29 in Game 2, 46 in Game 3, 34 in Game 4, has averages of 38.8 points, over 5 rebounds, over 5 assists on over 51% shooting. He might be on verge of something special. We just gotta appreciate greatness. Having regular season averages of 27 points, 7.1 rebounds, 4.1 assists in 849 games so far, a 4-time scoring champion, made 6 first-team All-NBA selections out of 8 All-NBA teams total, a 2-time champ, 2-time Finals MVP, 10-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, and MVP. I'm not going to name my all-time greats in order, but the 30-year-old small forward still got plenty of work to do in catching up with some of these legends. These are all the all-time greats better than Kevin Durant. Ranking by era from the 60s, Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell. Obviously, KD hasn't surpassed them. Wilt has 2 titles, 4 MVPs, higher averages, is a 13-time All-Star, appeared on 7 All-NBA first teams, the only player in history to ever lead the league in points, rebounds, and assists in different seasons. Russell, meanwhile, has 11 rings, 5 MVPs, appeared on 3 first-team selections, a 12-time All-Star. Durant's a way better offensive player, but hasn't done enough to surpass Russell. In the 70s, no way KD's better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's a 19-time All-Star, 1 MVP 6 times, compared to Durant's 1, a 6-time champ, 2-time Finals MVP, a 10-time All-First Team selection, made 11 defensive teams compared to KD's 0, almost impossible for Durant to surpass Kareem. The 80s, Magic Johnson has 5 titles, 3 Finals MVPs, 3 League MVPs, a way better leader, a 12-time All-Star, made 9 first-team selections, achieving all this by age 31 before he was forced to retire. It will be very difficult for Durant to ever surpass Magic. And of course, Larry Bird, where Durant will by far have the longer career. Bird still has 1 more title as of now, a 12-time All-Star, 3-time MVP, made 9 first-team selections compared to Durant's 6, including 3 defensive team selections. Larry Legend accomplished more in less time, but Durant will need to win 4 or 5 titles, have 3 or 4 more superstar seasons left to be in the discussion with Bird. The 90s, Jordan and Hakeem. Michael Jordan's the GOAT without question, has the rings, MVPs, first-team recognitions, defensive teams, and even the scoring titles, 10 compared to KD's 4, no conversation here. And I still don't have Durant ahead of Hakeem yet. They both have the same amount of rings so far, but Hakeem won 2 rings without another All-Star on his team. 95 Drexler wasn't an All-Star. The Dream was also a 12-time All-Star, has the same amount of first-team selections as KD, but made 9 total defensive teams, won Defensive Player of the Year twice, and was the best shot blocker in NBA history. Even averages more steals than Durant. Right now, I cannot put Durant over Olajuwon. If he wins 2 more championships, I'll think about it. The 2000s, Shaquille O'Neal, who was a 4-time champ, 3-time Finals MVP, the most dominating player in the modern era, has 15 All-Star appearances. Him and KD each have 1 MVP, but Shaq made 8 first-team selections compared to Durant's 6, even made 3 defensive teams, where Shaq was playing against elite defensive bigs in his era, destroyed every one of them. Despite what I'm seeing from KD right now, I'll still take prime Shaq over current Durant any day. Tim Duncan. Durant's a more talented offensive player, but Duncan's defense was one of the best. Timmy D made 15 All-Star teams, 5 more than Durant, has 5 titles, 3 Finals MVPs, has 1 more MVP than KD, made 10 All-NBA first teams, 4 more than Durant, has 8 defensive first team selections, a total of 15 all-defensive teams, Durant 0. The last 3 minutes I'd rather have Durant take over a game over Duncan, but Duncan's proven to be one of the best leaders, has more accomplishments. KD will need at least another Finals MVP and win 4 or 5 titles to be in the discussion with Duncan. Kobe Bryant. You can argue all day who's the better scorer. Durant's more efficient and scores easier, but Kobe's the more skilled player, a better facilitator than KD, where Kobe doesn't get enough credit for. The Black Mamba's an 18-time All-Star, both have the same amount of MVPs and Finals MVPs, but Bryant has 5 titles, where he could have scored more points, but sacrificed some of his offense to focus on his defense playing with Shaq. Has 11 first-team All-NBA selections, KD likely won't catch that. Made first-team All-Defense 9 times, 12 total defensive team selections, Durant 0. Kobe's also proven to be a leader, is more aggressive in late game situations, where Durant's a little passive at times demanding the ball. KD still needs to prove he can win as the leader for his team, not being the best player on someone else's team. I don't see Durant ever passing Kobe. The 2010s, LeBron James. who's clearly been the best player from 2011 to 2018. Although 2017 and 18 is up for debate, James has accomplished more, made 12 first-team All-NBA selections, compared to Durant's 6, appeared on 6 defensive teams. Durant's a better pure scorer, but LeBron's the better all-around player and has been better for much of this decade. KD will be better going forward as of now, but he'll turn 31 in a couple months, nearly impossible for him to ever surpass LeBron. Those 11 players are clearly better than Durant as of now. The players I haven't mentioned, in Oscar Robertson, Karl Malone, Jerry West, Moses Malone, and Julius Erving. Oscar has 12 All-Star appearances, made All-NBA first team 9 times, has better all-around stats. But I'm giving KD the slight edge since he's proven how clutch he is on the big stage and in the finals. Oscar only won 1 NBA title as the second option. I also put KD slightly over Jerry West, who was a 14-time All-Star, never won a regular season MVP, made first team All-NBA 10 times, was a clutch performer, but his overall record 1-8 in the NBA Finals, Durant has done enough to surpass him. Karl Malone, who unfortunately never won a title, the best player to never win a ring in my opinion, has more accomplishments than KD does, made first team All-NBA 11 times, 4 defensive teams, has won more MVP than Durant, but Malone didn't elevate his game in the finals, while Durant's been amazing in the playoffs with Golden State, and Moses Malone, who's a 3-time MVP winner, was a 12-time All-Star, played 19 seasons, but Durant has 2 more first team selections, who's still in his 12th season. I also have KD over Dr. J. If Durant stayed in OKC and didn't win a title, he wouldn't be on my top 15 list right now, but after winning back-to-back finals MVP in dominating fashion, doing what he was supposed to do, and leaving Russell Westbrook behind was absolutely the right decision. At this very moment, in the middle of the 2019 playoffs, I have Kevin Durant 12th all-time. If he wins another title, he'd still be 12th in my opinion, since he did join a 73-win team. If Durant wins finals MVP again in 2019, he will join Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, and Shaquille O'Neal to be the only players to win 3 or more finals MVPs, an insane accomplishment. After the playoffs, if Durant does leave Golden State in free agency, wins 1 more title with his own team, makes a couple more first team All-NBA selections, and finish as a top 3 leading scorer all time, he will have a huge chance to squeeze into the top 10. We'll need a couple more years to approach Hakeem and Tim Duncan territory, and has a slight possibility to even surpass Larry Bird, but he's still got plenty of work to do. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.